Hello, this is David Wales from my PA3 check-in. So this week I think I accomplished everything that was required, at least. I want to try going ahead this next week. So for the SpriteBatch manager, I just called add layers here in the load content. And it creates the foreground, which is basically assigning foreground to be drawn on top of level 1, to be drawn on level 2, to be drawn on on the background. And then down here, after I add all the sprites, I call the SpriteBatch manager.add to layer, and then I get the sprite. So grab in this case, and then I add it to the SpriteBatch layer foreground. And then so in this case, the crab should be drawn on top of the jellyfish, which should be drawn on top of the crab box, which should be drawn on top of the squid. So when I run it, you'll see the jellyfish is in fact drawn on top of the squid, and you'll see in a moment that the crab will be drawn on top of everything, and the box will go behind stuff. I took a screenshot of that, make it a little clearer. So you can see the crab is being drawn on top of the jellyfish, and you can kind of tell a little bit that it's being drawn on top of the squid. So then you can also see that the box around it is being drawn behind the jellyfish, which is as specified in my load content. So everything seems to be working correctly. You can see down here, I am calling just the only thing in draw is SpriteBatch manager.draw all. And the way that works is it goes and it just iterates through all of the sprite batches and calls draw layer on them. And draw layer just iterates through all the SpriteBatch nodes and calls draw on them. And SpriteBatch data, which is derived from SpriteBatch node, contains a pointer to a sprite base. And in draw, it just calls render on it. So that's how that works. My class diagram, I set it up very much like what we had described in class. I liked the idea. The only thing that changed was what was actually recommended in class this last Tuesday, which was the whole drawing, the way I draw. So to kind of push it down into each sprite batch rather than do everything up in the SpriteBatch manager. So it all seemed to work out pretty well. All my images are done too. I'm getting these kind of mixed up. I keep thinking that those were last week. So yeah, you can see I'm calling the image manager.add image, same thing as texture manager up here, and then sprite manager.add sprite. And then here you can call in the update, you can call .getSprite with the enum name, and it'll retrieve it and set a PLN equal to that, and then you can modify it however you wish. So everything seems to be working the same, just as intended. I'm sure I'll do tons of iteration and everything again and refactor it all, but I'm at a good point, I think. So thanks.